is like knowing what absolute value even means. So like absolute value means a distance. Like if you're driving south, for example, like you're not going to say you're driving like negative 60 miles per hour. Like that's kind of dumb, you know? Like you would just say you're going that exact speed. Like absolute values used a lot in the physics world with speed and distance. Or like change with business, that kind of thing. So what it means is like a distance away from zero. So like what number is 4 units away from zero? So like if you had to solve this thing, like absolute value means distance from zero. So always starting with 0. So usually everyone's like, oh yeah, this is 4, 4 units. But then also going this way is 4 units. So like when you're solving absolute value equations, like what number could x be? It could be -4, because if you go left, that is a distance of 4. And if you go right, that's also a distance of 4. So like to figure out what this is, you have to account for the like the left going to the left and then going to the right. So distance to the left and distance to the right of the 0 on the number line. So I think it makes more sense when we do examples, but like I'll just do like really easy ones. Like if you had basically the same question, like you could have 2 answers. Okay. You could also just have one answer. That's option 2, which will go. If we get absolute value of x equals 0, it's just one answer because it's like, how far away is 0 from 0? Like, there aren't 2 answers because there's nowhere to go. And then these are my favorite ones. Like, if you get absolute value of x equals like -2, this is a no solution, and these are my favorite because you don't have to do any work. It's like the easiest one, but you have to notice it. So like, you're never going to be a negative distance away from 0. So absolute value can never equal negative. So can't have negative distance, maybe. Can't have negative distance. So that's why that's a no solution. And this is the best. This is the worst one when you have to do all that. Because you have to check them too, which is like sometimes a lot of work. So basically, these are all kind of different types of ones. This is the best kind where it's like the bars are by itself. Like this one's got like numbers and stuff by it. Once the bars are by themselves, what you do is you figure out what 5x minus 7 is, like what makes it equal 3. So you're going to split it up. You're going to solve that one. And then you're going to do 5x minus 7 equals -3. So the positive 3 is to the right of the 0. The -3 is to the left of the 0. So I solved basically 2 problems on every single one. So like I'm going to solve both of these. So you're going to add 7. You get 5x equals 10. So you get 2. And then you're going to solve this guy. Add 7. Oh no. This is gross. Oh well, that's fine. So you get a fraction, which is a thing. So don't like freak out about that, okay? Because now what we have to do is check them. So this is the part that can be annoying, but it's fine. So what you're going to do is you have to check them both. So you're always plugging it into the OG, like the original equation. You're going to plug 2 in and make sure it works. And then you're going to plug in 4/5 and see if it works. So you're going to plug in 5 times 2 minus 7 and see if it equals 3. And you're going to plug in 5 times 4/5 minus 7. Does that equal 3? So it's like you're solving 2 of them, which it's the worst when you get fractions, you know what I mean? So anyway, so absolute value, what do we get? 10 minus 7. And then you're like, oh my gosh, it's the same. Okay, so that checks. So 2 is going to be an answer. So then you circle 2 because it worked when you plugged it in. Now, if you plug in 4/5, that was weird. Okay, if you plug in 4/5, 5 times 4/5, actually that's not that bad. They cross reduce, so it's going to be 4 minus 7, and then this one you get what? -3, but you're taking the absolute value of it, so it does work. So both of them work. So none of them are extraneous, that means. So if they both work, you have 2 answers that solves for that. Okay. So that one's one type. The other type is part B, when you've got like all these other junk by the bars. So it's like you got a +5, I don't want that there. I got a 2, I don't want that there. So you got to move them over to the right side. So for the first one, like before I start splitting it, I'm going to subtract 5. So pretend it's like, it's essentially you're solving this in a way. It's like you're trying to get the stuff, all the numbers away from the bars. So you get 2 absolute value max minus 1, and then subtract, you get 28. And then you, just like how here you'd subtract 5 divided by 2, this is the same thing, because 2 is being multiplied to the bars, so you just divide out the 2. So you get 3x minus 1 equals 14. So you're dividing both sides by 2. So then now this one is just like that guy now. And you do the same, the whole shebang. So it's kind of a lot of work, if I'm being honest, because you're going to have to do now 3x minus 1 equals positive 14. So whatever's in the bars stays, and then 3x minus 1 equals negative. So this is like the one that people mess up, like they forget to do the negative on it. And then you solve them both, and then you have to check them both. So it's kind of intense. Don't you think? I think it's kind of intense. Because this, add 1, 3x equals 15, x equals 5. Okay. Add 1. Oh no, this one's bad. What is this? -13? Ugh. -13/3. That's disgusting. It's fine. We'll be fine. So now you're going to check them. Now, when you check them, don't plug it into this. Don't plug it into that. Don't plug it into that. You have to plug it into the OG, like this guy. Got to plug it into this, the way beginning one, and see if they both work. I'm going to run out of room. This is intense, isn't it? So you have to plug in 5. That one's like more normal. I'm nervous for the... See, I'm running out of room. I'm going to zoom in. Zoom. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to plug 5 into that, and then I have to plug in -13/3. Disgusting. And see if that equals 33. I put like the little question mark above the equal sign because I'm like not positive. And now you're going to simplify that out. So we get 2, and then 15 minus 1 plus 5. So that'd be 2, absolute value 14 plus 5. 28 plus 5. Okay, yeah, that one works. Okay, so 5 works. This one, okay. 3 times that thing. Well, okay, the 3's cancel, so that's not the worst. So this is -13 minus 1. Does that equal 33? And then I get 2 absolute value of negative. Oh, this should, right? Yep. So just wipe the tears when you're done, There you go. So it's like painful. This is why I hate these kind. Because then you have to check them both. And then you're like, takes forever, And then some of you are like, well, I'll just trust it. No, you can't, because there'll be ones where it doesn't work, and I'll show you. But this is the best kind. C. C is the best. This is my favorite one. Do you know why? Does anyone know why? This is my favorite. Look at that. See that -7? Yeah, this, because of the bars, this is never going to happen. Because this always equals positive stuff. Like this is never going to equal a -7. So I don't have to do any work. I can just say no solution, which is my favorite kind by far. Okay. So, all right. So kind of like recapping how you do these, get your bars alone and then you split it. One being like the normal one and then one being it being negative. Okay. When you're doing, we're going to skip A. We're going to go to B. Okay, if you're doing this one, the bars are alone, right? But it's got algebra on the other side versus like just a plain number. So you do the same thing. So it's not like so crazy. So this is B. You're going to do 2x plus 3, whatever's in the bars you leave. And you're going to set it equal to 3x plus 2. So that'll be like normal, I guess you can say. But then the other one, you're going to do 2x plus 3. And you know how you negated it? The number? You're going to do the same thing, but now just distribute the negative. So it's going to be instead of positive 3x, it'll be negative. Instead of plus 2, you're going to write minus 2. So you're going to solve 2 of these. But if there's like 2 things on the side of the equation, just negate both of them. Like make them both negative or change the sign, I should say. So just like this one, you know how we did like positive 3, negative 3? This one is the same thing, positive and negative. It's just negative on both. So then you're going to solve both of those. So you get, I'm going to subtract the 2, subtract the 1. So I get 1 for x. And then this one, I'm going to add 3x. So I get 5x plus 3 equals -2. And then I'm going to subtract 3. 5x equals -5. And then we get -1. Okay, so at least they're not fractions, right? Positivity. Okay, so then for your check, you got to plug it into the OG, the main one, not this one, not the one you rewrote. It's always this one up here. So for your check, see, these are so much better numbers, don't you think? You're going to plug 1 in and see if it works. And then you're going to plug in -1 and see if it works. It's like 4 problems in one, you guys, right? This is so fun. So we get absolute value of what? 2 plus 3 is 5. And this is 5. Hey, that one works, right? 1. This guy, what do I get? Absolute value of 1, right? Yeah. And what do I get here? -3 plus 2. Whoa! Do you see it? Do you see it? That one doesn't work. That one's extraneous. Okay? So the only one that works, so this one has one solution. It's at x equals 1 because that one checked, this one didn't. Okay? So you got to check them to make sure it's legit, that they're going to work. Okay? And last but not least, this one looks like too simple it's hard. Do you know what I mean? Because this one, the bars are alone, so I guess that's good. So I'm going to do x equals x minus 1, so leave that one. And then x equals, now this is what I'm saying, the bars, the one in the bars are stay. So then this one's going to be -x plus 1. So I had to do the sign change on this. And I'm going to solve each of them. Look at that first one, though. What? What the heck am I supposed to do with this? 0 equals -1. Cool. So this is a nope, not going to get you something. Okay, so there's no answer for that one. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to solve this guy, add x. So you get 2x equals 1. Oh, and a fraction. That's cool. 1/2. So I just have to check one of them because the other one I couldn't even do. So this one, for your check, you're going to plug in the half and see if it equals. Okay. Notice this, 1/2 minus 1. You don't even actually need the answer. You could just be like it's negative. But this would be negative 1/2. That doesn't check. So neither worked. So this is no solution. So you could have 2 solutions, 1 solution, or nothing. So kind of depends. Okay. So for the homework, you can just